The pursuit of
being kind.
Who would have thought being kind was
Can
something to pursue?
And who would have thought that being kind can actually help relieve anxiety?
I know. That's what we're going to be talking about in Get Real with the English Sisters. Please do take the time to leave a review and follow us as well on Instagram.
Follow us if you like us, share our podcast and help us grow, as we do really want to spread the word.
And that would be a kind act.
That would be a kind act indeed.
On your behalf.
On your behalf. And plus it's going to make you feel good too doing it, because that's what we're going to be talking about.
And it makes us feel good as well.
There is actually a thing called Helper's High.
I know.
I mean, I know that, you're always taught, be kind. Well, we were taught that when we were little. Be kind. It's good to be kind to others. But who would know that being kind is going to actually make you feel so much better about yourself?
Well, I think it
makes sense, I suppose.
It gives you a dopamine, doesn't it?
It gives you dopamine. It helps you feel in control. And when you feel in control, that's actually anxiety relief in itself, because a lot of the time when we're feeling anxious is because we feel as if things are out of our control. Have you noticed, like, when we've got to go and do a public talk, for example, this is, the English is when we're going out there, and we're feeling anxious, because of course we all get anxious, we're feeling nervous about the situation. How lovely it is, like, to be extra kind. We're nice people. So we're
disclaimer.
Listen, disclaimer. We like to be kind, but we're kind of like extra kind, like to anybody, like the person serving the coffee, for example. We might be like a bit extra kind. Have you ever noticed that?
Well, is it because we're in a good mood?
Yes, but there's also a kind of a selfish reason to this.
Yeah. Well, I've never thought of it like that, but it could be. Well, I also think it's because we're like representing the English sisters.
Well, obviously, we're in our little outfits. We're doing the English sisters thing. I know. That is also a part of it. But there's another part of it that our brain actually wants to be extra kind so that we can feel in control. And by being in control, we relieve some of the anxiety we may be feeling before going up and having to perform or whatever we're going to be doing, So,
well, that's a good point, because I've never really thought of it like that, but you're probably right. It does make us feel good.
It makes us feel good.
It makes us feel extra good.
Extra good. So we might be extra kind to staff members or to anybody, really, extra kind, because it makes you feel good. So that's a little hack in everyday life.
And it reveals anxiety.
It reveals it. It relieves it. Yes. It relieves it.
And what I mean is it reveals that you're being anxious, so that's why you're extra kind.
Exactly.
To calm yourself.
Yes, that's what when I was actually reading about this study, let me see if I can find it here, because there's a proper study that was done at the University of Emory. I don't know if I'm saying it right. According to this research, it says that when you're kind to another person, your brain's pleasure and reward centers are activated, as if you were the recipient of the good deed. So as if you were getting the good deed. So isn't that interesting? Not the giver. So it's as if you're getting all the good feeling, as if you're on the other part of somebody being really kind to you.
Yeah.
So that was the unusual part of this study.
I think that's the unusual part is that indeed, because
it's odd.
This has blown my mind.
Yeah.
No, because I'm thinking that you would think that the other person would be happy that you're being kind.
Yeah, but the other person is happy, but you are also getting all the reward centers and pleasure centers activated in your brain.
So you're getting a dopamine high without...
Yes.
By doing something, just by being kind.
And the phenomenon is actually called the helper's high. This can actually help to reduce feelings of anxiety. So in short, being nice is one of the easiest and inexpensive ways to keep anxiety at bay.
Wow.
This is what the Emory, University study found out. So that was, it might seem obvious, but who would have thought, so if you are feeling anxious,
just be kind. And the curious thing is that you would, if you're feeling anxious,
you might not want
you'd
to be
want
kind.
to withdraw, wouldn't you? And not say
Yes,
anything.
yes.
Not be extra kind to people and talk to people and,
exactly,
and be like nice.
Yeah, because you might just think, no, I'm feeling nervous, I'm feeling anxious, I'm having a horrible day or whatever. But hey, no.
Watch out.
Watch out is what we're telling you. This is for your own benefit. And then the rest of what happens is it's like a side effect as well, which is a lovely one because you're being kind and kindness spreads. But listen, if you're feeling anxious, go out of the way to be kind to somebody. So smile at somebody near you. Even what was interesting about this study is that the social interactions with strangers gave us a really high dopamine effect in our brains of happiness. So with strangers, so it doesn't have to necessarily be extra kind to your colleague and go out and get them a coffee or whatever and be extra kind. No, even with strangers. The person on the bus,
strangers,
the person,
it's even more, isn't it? Because you don't know the person.
I wouldn't have thought it was more. I would have thought it would be more important to be kind to the ones that you know.
Yeah, but it's like a completely new thing.
Well,
it's like not someone that you already know. It's like a new person.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe that's why, because it's a new thing. So
you've never really seen that person or how they're going to react or smile back at you.
Yeah. Do you remember during the pandemic how we were saying how much we missed social interaction in the most
banal ways?
Exactly. Like just talking to the person that was selling us a fruit and veg, just having these really,
just having a little giggle with them.
A giggle, just oh yeah, hi, yeah, thanks, I'll get that loaf of bread and whatever, going to the coffee shop and talking to the barista. This is what we missed immensely.
Yes.
But I didn't actually realise this was anxiety relief. This is what we do as social animals.
We were probably more anxious then.
Of course, that's why it was a nasty time, yes, for everyone as well.
And that's why it's probably left so much anxiety as well, because some of us may have forgotten to go back into making that extra effort.
Yes, and even though the masks may not be obligatory anymore in many parts of the world. However, there's like this invisible mask that's been left within us, in our souls, and it's kind of time to think about that and to remove that invisible mask and make more of an effort to connect with strangers, to smile, to talk to them, even just a few words, because that will relieve your anxiety. That really will, in the most, just... Because it does with us. I was thinking,
I was thinking like when just the other day I went to do my golf exam, and I sat next to, I said, can I sit there please? And I smiled at the person and they didn't smile back or do anything back. They just said yes, but really curtly. So I thought, ooh. And that made me feel really anxious, even more anxious about doing the exam.
Because you were trying to be kind.
I was trying to be kind, and I thought if I sit next to this person, they might be happy because they're on their own. And I'll be like, support them, and we'll support each other.
We'll be buddies.
But there was no buddiness there, and it was just curtness. And I thought, oh no, maybe they're annoyed. They think I'm going to cheat or something. I started going into my own head, and then I thought, no, don't be silly. It's not that. They're probably just anxious or nervous themselves. But maybe if they had smiled back and made an effort, I would have been loved. It would have relieved a lot of anxiety.
It would have, yeah.
Instead, I kept all the anxiety inside me, and actually when I finished the exam I felt actually physically ill from it.
There you go.
Yeah, because I hadn't been able to release the anxiety throughout the exam.
Because you wanted to be kind in a way to somebody.
I did want to be kind and smile at them and be nice.
Also to feel in control, because being in control reduces anxiety feelings. So that's a reason why you wanted to do that, not just because you're a lovely person and a
No,
kind
and
person.
that's why I was telling my husband about it at the end. He said, what do you care if he talked to you? Who cares? You know, he couldn't really understand it. He couldn't relate to it. And now that we're doing this and talking about this now, I can understand even more why I wanted him to be nice to me.
Exactly, yeah. You're looking for that. Not only did you wanted to be able to share your kindness in order for you to feel better, but your kindness, he did not want to receive it.
No, the body language was turned away, everything. So I thought, oh no, yikes.
He obviously didn't know about this study. Maybe he would have been kind to you.
Or he was nervous himself, I presume.
He was probably just too anxious himself. But yeah, I mean, it is interesting to notice this. And if I think about how I deal with my anxiety in a lot of my daily activities are based about having a little chat with a stranger. Or with
you
somebody.
Love that, don't you?
Well, I do. Not completely. Do I? Do I do it a lot? Yeah.
You always try to.
I try to because I'm probably trying to control
I used to try to more, and you'd have to pull me away. I remember, but now true. I notice that you're more chatty.
Yeah, I think really it is after the pandemic. I think I really realised how much I missed it.
Yeah,
I really suffered from that, so I really find it quite a blessing in a way to be able to be around people and to see them smiling and to see their faces. So I like that. Yeah, I think I really missed it. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting fact to this thing that this helper's high. Now we know.
We know what it's called now.
Yes. Plus, you know, I mean, acts of kindness do make the world a happier place for everyone. So.
Well, they make it a kinder place, that's for sure, and more helpful. And I think, do you know what it is as well? Is I think that you feel as if you're not alone when you do an act of kindness, because you feel, first of all, the person receiving it, like say if you're on the tube or underground or someone helps you with your bag or something.
Oh, yeah.
It's really nice when you help a mum with a pram or a dad with his pram.
Yeah.
You know, you feel as if you've been able to help someone that's part of your community, don't you? As if another human being, another person that needs your help, you're there to help them. So that makes you feel good.
Exactly.
And it makes the other people, they feel, oh, we're not alone. There are other people here. That we're not just alone in this world. You know, each of us fighting for our own little survival.
We're a community. We're together. Yeah. It does increase that togetherness, which is part of our social community.
There was a study the National Health did, I think, or it was a program, I can't remember, it was a long time ago now, that they said that people like the people that, you know, collect the rubbish and that, the bin men and women and people, they have sometimes their jobs can be very mundane and they're just going and they don't actually see anyone. But they say if they can manage to interact and do a random act of kindness, either with the people that they would do, you know, working with, collecting the rubbish, or the people in the houses,
the garbage or rubbish,
But otherwise, with just in the evening, if they manage to write a letter of kindness to someone or an email or it would make their jobs 100. They said they felt much less stressed.
There you go.
So it was even through indirect. So in the evening, just phoning someone or talking to someone or writing to someone. Yeah.
Right. So that act of kindness because they might not be able to get it with their job.
Yeah. And maybe it wasn't direct because they were isolated, I suppose. They're just with the people that they're doing it with. It's very mundane, isn't it?
Yeah, because they just collect the garbage, the rubbish. It's just, So you can't actually talk to anyone, I suppose, when you're doing it, unless you've got a colleague together. If you've got
a colleague you can have big fun with, but it wasn't always the case.
No.
And it gave them a lot more fulfillment and satisfaction.
Yeah, you would think like doctors would be on the top of the happy list, because if they're doing acts of kindness
pulling
all
a
the
face
time,
here.
You're pulling a face because they're not they're
so stressed.
They're actually
anxious.
One of the most highly anxious and stressed, professions, aren't they? Being that because of the the increased
Yeah, but I
amount of
bet
workload.
you the kind doctors
Feel better themselves.
feel better.
You're
I bet
right.
they do.
Of course they do. They've
The
got
ones that
to.
have that extra little time for their patients.
They're extra kind to
The extra
somebody
little
that's really in
smile.
need. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, because I was thinking about nurses, doctors, everyone in the medical
Well, yes, they
profession.
definitely need it, don't they?
They need it.
And I think the irony is that a lot of these professions, they require you to be people oriented and, you know, like people and like working with people. But then when you actually get into it, unfortunately, the workload
system,
and the
yeah.
system and the bureaucracy and everything, it forces you to kind of forget about that.
Yeah.
And you're so overworked and you've got so much to do that you forget why you went into it in the first place.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then so if you are in a doctor or a nurse or in that kind of medical
yeah.
profession, if you do take a step back and think, yeah, if I can even just squeeze that tiny little smile, hold someone's hand for 2 seconds, it'll make a difference, not just to the patients that you're working with, but to yourself.
To yourself,
you will
immensely.
feel less anxious.
Immensely to yourself, yeah. And then that'll have that lovely ripple effect, because the patient will feel better, probably go back home and feel better as well in that environment, and it ripples on and on and on because it's contagious. So
Yeah, and it's
definitely
so easy to forget when you're so stressed and so anxious to do that. It's so easy. I think you really do have to make a conscious effort to do it.
Yeah, and I think if you start by thinking this is going to help me,
Yeah.
then it's like we're
Secret
selfish.
hack.
Yeah, we're human beings. We want to help ourselves. But so if you think this is a hack, it's going to help me to be kind, I am going to benefit immensely. My anxiety levels are going to be reduced. So, I mean, it's a win-win, isn't it? Because you're going to help yourself and you're going to be helping somebody else.
And why do you think we like watching those videos that go viral about random acts of kindness?
Oh, we love
why
it,
why
don't
do
we?
people want to watch those?
We want to watch them all the time. Somebody being kind to a dog, an animal, a person.
Yeah.
You love it, don't you?
Yeah.
You love it because it makes you feel good. Just even by watching that video, you feel. And then all the comments, there is
And
kindness
everyone's
in the
so
world.
happy when they get whatever it is. They help someone, they give them money for no reason, or random acts of flowers, or these are for you. We watch them over and over, don't we? We want to see the expressions on the people's faces and that.
Yeah, you want to see it, don't you? Yeah, because it makes you feel good to see that just for no reason. Like somebody just giving you a lovely smile or somebody doing something like that. Yeah, you're right about that. I hadn't actually thought that.
Those are like indirect acts of kindness because it's indirect. It's not
shared,
actually
isn't
you
it?
doing it, but it's someone else that's done it. But you kind of feel the spirit of it.
You can
You feel
empathise
the
with
spirit of it, of the person doing the act of kindness, and you kind of get it. Like,
you get it, yeah. You get
you
it
get
like mirrored back.
yeah.
However, it's much stronger when it's you doing it.
Of course.
Yeah, and an act of
That was
kindness
good.
is anything. It's literally anything.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
just a smile.
It's just a
It's opening
smile.
a door.
Saying, oh, thanks, that was really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Like, you drink your coffee every day, your tea, whatever you're having, and just by actually making a point. Like what you said the other day at that coffee bar, you said, oh, I actually hadn't thought about telling them. Do you remember that there's new people that have come in to take over the coffee bar near where we are? And you actually said, oh, my sister always tells me how lovely you two are. And how happy she is that you've come and you've taken over this business, and she really enjoys coming here. I mean, that was an act of kindness on your part.
It was.
But it was all. Now we know why you did it. You did it also because it's true, but also because it benefited yourself.
Well, I'm so used to doing these things. I like to verbalise it and compliment people when I can.
Yes, me too. I like it as well
because I think it helps them. I suppose
it helps them, but it's also the helper's high. You get happy. You like doing it. So the more you do it,
looking out for these things. I suppose I do look out for them.
You look out for them. You certainly do. You look out for them, and then you point them out.
Yes, instead of just keeping quiet, because most people, I suppose, would just keep quiet about it.
Yeah, I guess that's why we're therapists. You know, in a way, we get
We
get
point
that
things
help
out.
us high. You know, we get it ourselves. We relieve our own anxiety through being kind to others, and I mean, it's lovely,
I
really.
to make a difference, don't you?
You feel it helps you feel more in control, and it helps your self-esteem, and it helps boost your own confidence. So there's many reasons why we do this.
What about being kind to yourself? If you're kind to yourself,
I don't know about that, because the research wasn't actually talking about that. That seems like an obvious to me. Being kind to yourself and having good self-talk is gonna,
it's going to make you feel better.
It's gonna make you feel one
like
hell of
if
a lot
your inner
better.
dialogue is nice,
Yes,
and kind.
It's kind. We've said this very many times.
But do you think if your inner dialogue is nice and kind, then you can be kinder to other people, or do you think
definitely
not really?
No, totally. I think if you are relentless at kinder self-talk, and you catch yourself when it's not kind, and you're constantly repeating kind self-talk to yourself, then you will be kinder to others, because you will not be in a position of this and not helpful self-talk, like mean things that you're saying to yourself. They tend to come out towards others as well. So if you're...
Sometimes I think it can be the opposite. People that are really mean to themselves are really helpful to others.
Really? I never thought of that. So you think that you could have a really negative, mean self-talk?
You could have very low self-esteem, but then be really kind to other people and really helpful to them, and yet not be kind to yourself. So I think that's something to watch out for. If you find that you are very helpful to others, and yet you're really mean to yourself, watch out for that and turn it around and be kind to yourself too, because you deserve it.
It's easier said than done, because there's a lot of work behind that, being kind to yourself. It's about being, having the self-esteem to be kind to yourself and not judge yourself. And maybe if you look at how you're kind to others and you pretend that the others are like yourself, how would you treat others if you're kind to others? Would you treat others the way you treat yourself? Would you say those things? I think you have to become, a little bit aware.
A bit more self-awareness.
Because a lot of the times you're not even aware you're nasty to yourself.
No, we have done an episode on that if you want to go and check it.
Yeah.
We will do more in the future, because I think that's basically, it's
life really, isn't it? It's about how your world is based, and what kind of repetitive self-talk you have going on in your head is a game changer. It really is.
So I think with the pursuit of kindness,
definitely,
we will pursue it even further now. So
we have our little hacks now, so we're going to do it
even
more.
Now the benefits are going to be getting from it, because I really wasn't aware of that before we did this episode of the podcast. I was not aware of it.
No, indeed.
So we learn as we go along, don't we?
We learn as we go along, and we hope this was helpful. And if it was, please share it, and
share it with your family and friends.
Yeah, and we're sending you love.
Lots of smiles. Love, smiles and kindness from the English Sisters. Bye-bye.